Hello everybody, make another video. This one is from YouTube, from a YouTube message shared privately. It's a bit long, so I don't know how long this video is going to go. Hey man, don't remember how I stumbled upon your video, but I have been through something similar to your experience. Which is rare because if people haven't been through that kind of shit, they wouldn't understand, you know. So my dad abandoned me and my siblings when I was 9. Lived with my mom for a few years, and she kicked me out at 14 and had to live with him. Took a year for him to be ready, but made it there at 15. First year there I grew suspicious because he seemed like such a fake person. I'll try to keep this short. Basically, through my teen years there, he would drug my food, then take pictures of me naked while I slept, then put the pictures online while pretending to be me, and who knows what else. Pretty sure there are mental blocks in place right now. I found these pictures on CDs hidden in his closet. Confronted him with it and he lost his shit. Beat me and said, "You think anyone's going to care if you go missing? You think people haven't gone missing for less when they insult me?" This is when I was 15. Well, first question I would ask is, why did your mother kick you out at 14? Well, what is her issue? Obviously, your mother must have known something about your father's proclivity for being a pervert, and she sent you there anyway, so I would want to know what the deal is there. Now, we know narcissists, some narcissistic sociopaths are sexual deviants a lot of times. I mean, I went through that with both my parents. My wife went through it with her father and her mother. You know, it is something that runs in the family. This usually, it doesn't start with one person. You can usually trace this back through the family tree. Whereas in my family, you know, my grandfather had a closet full of porn. My father had Playboys all over the place. They were swinging and banging. My parents were swinging and banging all over town. My wife's father was a sexual deviant, constantly trying to break in on her in the shower. They used to drag her to the Dominican Republic, where they used to let her get sexually assaulted. You know, she has memories of basically being traded around down there by her own mother and father. Her mother was sexually aggressive, sexually abusive. And then when you confront them on it is when they become even more violent. They threats of violence. Nobody's going to believe you. And at 15, Jesus Christ, I mean... And I mean, I went through this in the 80s, you know, before the internet, before any of this, before it was so easily and so readily available for these perverts to be able to, I guess, hone their craft of perversion. So, Jesus Christ. I later found out that from 16 to 19, my phone was tapped, and he had hidden cameras all over the house. And computer also had a keylogger and everything on it. He used to work for an internet company and was third in charge. And he would use all that information gathered for advanced manipulation. If I did go out and have a good time with friends would want to stay out with them. However, every time I came home, even if it was on time, he would freak out and then threaten me, yell at me, all types of crazy shit. Okay, that's because A, he's obsessive with you. B, he's afraid that you're gonna basically spill his secret to somebody. This is crazy. This is crazy shit, as he said. Nobody would believe me when I told them about the hidden cameras and tapped phones. Not my sister, not my friend. Until years later when my dad and his third wife moved to a new house. She found the hidden cameras and microphones in a box while they were moving and told my sister. Looking back over the years, that repetitive manipulation and abuse has robbed me of having any happiness from anything, even things I used to enjoy. Also used to work with him and would get shorted on pay all the time. Well, narcissists love to short you on pay, and they love to control your money. They love to control your career. They love to control your wife. But, getting back to the third wife, what happened to the second wife and your mother? They have to know that this shit was going on. They have to have some kind of idea of it. Would bust my ass working construction, sometimes 15-hour days. Yet come payday, he would give me only enough to get by and pay my bills, which was what my mother used to do to me. She used to take my paychecks and gave me barely enough money to put in my car. Because they know if they can control your money, they can control your life. Another thunderstorm rolling in. Narcissists love to get their hands on your money. Always, they will find any reason to get their hands on your money. They will set you up for failure. So you have to come to them, ask them from it so they can use any excuse they can to control your money. Because controlling your money is controlling your life. Okay, she found the hidden I told my sister. Looking back over the years, that repetitive manipulation and abuse has robbed me of any happiness from anything, even things I used to enjoy. I already read that. Sorry. Was basically brainwashed at this point, and as he was still using some very advanced manipulation tactics. But I don't know, all this shit has left my psychological state a complete mess. Even now, age 25, as it would. What do you expect? What do you expect? You find out your own father's taking pictures of you and posting them online. God knows what and like you said, God knows what you've repressed and what you've blanked out. Been sober for 2.5 years. No drinking, quit smoking, but live alone and somehow made it out of that situation mostly alone. The next best friend I had ended up being just like my dad. This friend worked for a cell phone company and was pretty high up. He used his position to spy on my texts and calls, then do the same manipulative bullshit. I know this because I ran tests. I would talk to someone who has zero affiliation with him over my cell phone about something. Let's say my mom was going on vacation to Cancun or something. Quite often he would slip up and talk about what I was texting about. So how about your mom's trip to Cancun? And I never told him anything about it. This would happen on multiple occasions. And when talking to a friend, I told a friend I was moving out. Roommate is a pig and never cleans, and he was staring at me in my doorway while I was sleeping. And I don't mean to laugh, but a couple things before I even move on here. You keep getting involved with narcissists, narcissistic perverts involved in the technology field. And something I have noticed is narcissists and perverts will always gravitate to careers where it makes their perversion easier. And in this day and age, it's internet, technology, cell phone, media fields, because it gives them easier access to perversion. But I did notice something else here. You're talking about your mom. I mean, this is the same mother that kicked you out at 14. You didn't tell me the reason why or what was going on, and sent you to live with this friggin' predator. Yet, she's jet setting off to Cancun, and where is she getting her money to go to Cancun while you're struggling? After she sent you to live with this animal. Has she answered to any of this? Have you asked your mother, like, what the fuck? Did you know what's going on? Why is your mother going off that? And your mother seems like she's living a friggin' awesome life after kicking her daughter out at 14 years old to go live with a pervert. Now you're carrying on a relationship with her as she's going off to fucking Cancun. Seriously? You need to stand up for yourself, and you need to stand up to your mother. Because I think your mother set you up to be slaughtered here. And then you move in with somebody, it's the same type of personality. Fucking crap. Am I still recording? Oh, I am still recording. All right, we lost. Building got hit. I didn't realize laptop is on battery power. So I thought I lost it. All right, keep going. Jesus Christ. This is what happens when you live in South Florida. Now you're going to watch everything come back on. This happens a lot down here. I wish it didn't happen during this video, but because this is a serious one. All right, back up. Got to pull up the big screen. Sorry about that. Okay, like I said, I'd find out what the hell's going on with your mother. You are being drawn to these covert perverts that I guess back in the day they would have been considered peeping toms, where they're like voyeuristic and peeping tomming and whatever that is. You have been set down that type of narcissistic, perverted path where that's what you're being drawn to, and that's what's drawn to you. Okay. He comes home same day, hands me a beer. 20 minutes later, say, in the exact same order, we should resign the lease and give reasons why we should. Says, yeah, man, if the place gets messy, just say something, I'll clean up. This is from the guy who never offers to do so. Then, yeah, you were talking in your sleep last night. That was weird, huh? Okay, so I understand. So what he's saying is, like, he's basically watching you sleep. And, like, that is creepy. Anyway, sorry for the long message. I'll clip it off here. The best friend / roommate incident brought me back into that manipulation hell. Haven't hung out with any friends, acquaintances now in about 2 years. Find it extremely difficult to trust anybody and form some other past traumatic issues rarely go outside these days either. Well, that's something all of us deal with who have been abused by narcissists. And it's to be understood, like your own father, your mother throws you out, sends you to this perverted father who's up to wife number 3, who's working for an internet company, and crazy. Wondering what advice you would give to someone who doesn't have a friend to help them through. Not thinking about suicide at this rate. The agoraphobia, trust issues, self-esteem issues, anxiety, and panic issues just seem to be getting worse and worse. And I'm worried about losing my sanity. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I tell a lot of people. Wherever you are, get out. Move away to a new area. Okay, figure out where you want to be in this world living, and figure out how to get there. Okay, because once you pick up and you move to a new place, you can be basically whoever you want to be. When you go you're already locked away right now. And this is what happens when the power comes in. You're already locked away from everybody, and you don't have anybody left up there. So being able to move to a new area at this point, what do you have to lose? You're not leaving anything behind but all your drama and your bullshit. Not that you're not going to bring that mental anguish with you, but when you go to a new place, you can start fresh because nobody knows you. You can start over, and you won't be afraid to leave and venture out of your house. I would venture to ask what internet company your father worked for, because if he was doing this stuff to you at home, I guarantee he was doing it from work. Okay? And I would question what safeguards his jobs had on him, on what he was doing, the guy who worked from the cell phone company as well. I would contact all of these people because honestly, I think they'd probably be civilly liable to the point where you could probably sue them for not safeguarding, for having these perverts working for them and having no fail safes against it. I'd expose your father. You know, the other thing I would do is, and you're talking about some pretty difficult stuff here, but you know, a lot of us talk about difficult things. And when you talk about it and you bring it up yourself, you take the embarrassment and the shame right out of their hands. Okay, that you put the shame where it belongs, on your abuser. Okay, you're feeling all this shame and embarrassment and hurt because you got it locked inside. Now, you told me in a private message, and I'm not spilling your name. Okay, but what worked best for me and my abusers and my wife and her abusers was publicly exposing it. Now, my wife doesn't have a YouTube channel, and she does want to come on and do a video with me. And when that happens, trust me, everybody's going to want to watch that because it's going to be really fucking intense. And you're going to hear things that are going to blow your minds. But you guys but what you need to do is you need to take their power away. When it's coming out of your mouth and you're going out and you're going public with it. Okay? Because what he said, who's going to believe you? See, in their minds, they think nobody's going to believe you because in their minds, they think they're so special and they're so smart, they're the only ones that can do this and get away with it. Much in the way where channels like mine and others let narcissistic abuse survivors know they're not alone in their abuse, okay? And it gives us support and guidance and hope. And, you know, we can now, you know, stand up and say, hey, this happened to me and now I understand it. And it's positive for us, okay? The flip side of that is it lets the narcissist abuser know you're not alone either. And you're a piece of shit. And there's pieces of shit like you all over the fucking place. And you're not as fucking smart as you think you are. You're not as slick as you think you are. You're not special at all. You all follow the same fucking protocol for whatever brand of narcissistic sociopathy you're following. Okay, and it crushes them. And then they're the ones who then start to become the introverts and have to hide their shame and their bullshit. And that's the great thing about YouTube and technology. The same way your father used technology against you to amp up his perversion, we could use technology against them to shut them down and to completely fucking humiliate them. To completely humiliate them. And that drives them even crazier because he thinks he's so friggin' smart. He thinks he's so friggin' smart. He thinks, you know, I'm this big shot with an internet company. Or the boyfriend who's like a big shot with the cell phone company. They think they're so smart because you're not. When you can use their own technology against them, oh, thank you. Well, you got to figure that out. Well, if you can use your technology to expose me and take away my childhood innocence and ruin my teen years and follow my keystrokes and read my text messages, I could use the same technology to expose your fucked upness. That's what I would suggest. Move away, find a new spot in life. I would try to talk to some kind of lawyer, and I'm not sure what type, because if the boyfriend with the cell phone company is doing that, you know, it was doing this from work, then the cell phone company has to have record of it because all that shit is tracked. All that shit is tracked. Same with your father working for the internet company. Same exact deal. All that's tracked. And if those companies didn't have safeguards to protect you from their own employees, okay, they're criminal, they're civilly liable. Now, you may not, statute of limitation might have run out on the child predator stuff from your dad. But civil liability, I don't think ever runs out, depending on where you are. You could always sue an internet company and always sue a cell phone company. And they might even want to settle real quick and fast, okay, to keep it from getting out that this happened. So I hope that helps. I mean, that's how I see it. Oh, and again, I would follow up with your mother and find out what the hell happened. And why is your mother jet setting around to Cancun and seems like she's having this great life while you're still struggling after she sent you to the wolves at 14? Doesn't make sense. While your father's on wife number 3. I talked to wife number 2 and I talked to wife number 3 and I'd find out what they knew about the damn situation as well. Okay? I'd pull his divorce records to find out what the terms of the divorces were, what the reasonings were for the divorce. Was he sexually perverted? Was he abusive towards his ex-wives, towards his 2 ex-wives? All that stuff is public record that you can get your hands on. But not even to embarrass them, just to seek out answers. And finally, after you move to a new place and figure out how to get there, again, you need to find another therapist, a therapist who understands narcissism, personality disorders, who specializes in sexual dysfunctions as well. Wow, this storm is really, really going right now. Okay, sorry for a bit of the technical stuff on this one. Didn't know the weather was rolling back in again. Okay, again, the link to the GoFundMe is in the description box. If you can donate, please do. Please share anywhere you can. I just really do want to hit this goal so I can get the ball rolling. I really wish this video was more without the technical glitches, but you know, it is what it is. You know, that's the realness of my channel. You know, what you're seeing, what you see is what you get. It rolls out how it rolls out. You know, I'm just a guy talking into his webcam. But thank you for the message. You know, it took a lot to come to me with this. I'm sorry I didn't talk about it sooner. I really wish I had. I wish I would have seen it. But I mean, I'm going through a lot of messages to find these things. So thank you again. This is Ollie Matthews, and I'll see you all again real soon. Thanks. Bye.